It is said that books are only a source of knowledge, but there are also some books that give not knowledge, but a curse. Books whose author was perhaps not human, but something else. Their pages hold not just words, but a dark secret. A book so large that it was called the Devil's Bible. It is said that a monk wrote this book in a single night by making a deal with the devil. The second book is an occult manuscript containing the true names of demons, which only one person could understand, Queen Elizabeth's astrologer, John Dee, and a forbidden book that whoever reads it either goes mad or gets lost in a dark dimension. Friends, these were just 3 of the 7 books. Today, we will tell you about 7 such books that will blow your mind. Friends, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so, because your one subscription gives us a lot of motivation, and we will continue to make more videos like this for you. So, let's start the video. Number 1. Codex Gigas. It is said that every book in the world is written by some person, but there is one book that people call the book written by the devil. A book so large that it requires 2 people to open it, and whose dark secret has confused science, religion, and history to this day. This is the Codex Gigas, which the world knows as the Devil's Bible. This book was created in 13th century Bohemia, in the area of today's Czech Republic. It was written by a monk inside a monastery. But what happened to this monk is the most terrifying story. It is said that the monk committed a sin for which he was sentenced to be walled up alive. But when death was imminent, he asked for a deal. He said, "I will write a book that contains all the knowledge of the world, and I will write it in a single night." Writing a 310-page book in a single night is impossible, but he started writing, and as the night progressed, a strange silence fell over the monastery. It is said that while writing, the monk made a deal with the devil. To save his life, he surrendered his soul to him, and with his help, he wrote the world's largest book in a single night. Every page of the Codex Gigas is written in Latin text, but in the middle, there is a page with a large portrait of the devil. The terrifying face of a devil with 10-inch long horns, which, when looked at directly in the eyes, seems to be alive. And this is the page from which the book gets its name, the Devil's Bible. So, what is written in this book? Inside the Codex Gigas are chapters of the Bible, but along with it, you find medical knowledge, exorcism rituals, and even black magic spells. Both healing and hell are written in the same book. Some pages contain the names of demons and ways to summon them, while others describe how a person can be absolved of their sins. As if light and darkness were both locked in the same place. Most surprisingly, the skins of 160 donkeys were used to write the Codex Gigas, and its handwriting is exactly the same, meaning a single person wrote the entire book. The same handwriting on 310 pages without any mistakes. Scientists carbon dated it and said that if a person wrote at this speed, it would take them 30 years to complete it. But historical records say it was written in a single night. This book also brought bad luck with it. When the king of Bohemia stole it, his kingdom was ruined a few years later. Then the book went to Sweden, where a soldier lost his mind as soon as he touched it. People believe that whoever reads the Codex Gigas at night either goes mad or dies mysteriously within a few days. Today, this book is kept in the National Library of Sweden, inside a special temperature-controlled glass room. It is surrounded by cameras, alarms, and only a few researchers are given access. And when someone opens its devil page, the cameras start glitching on their own. Codex Gigas, a book that is a confluence of all the world's sins, knowledge, and demonic secrets. It is said that this book is still waiting for its next reader. But the question is, do you have the courage to read it? Number 2, the Ripley Scroll. This is not a normal book, but a mystical scroll, a long parchment that extends up to 20 feet, and on every inch is written a strange alchemical secret. It was named after George Ripley, a 15th century English alchemist who claimed to have found the secret of the Philosopher's Stone, the mythical stone that allows its possessor to turn ordinary metals into gold and make themselves immortal with the elixir of life. But the Ripley Scroll is no ordinary alchemy manual. The words and illustrations written in it open the doors to a strange world. In the middle of the scroll, there is a crowned king holding a serpent in his hand. Below it is written, "Out of the serpent comes life, but only through death can it be reborn." This line is the essence of all alchemy, the union of life and death, metal and spirit. But Ripley's drawings and symbols are so confusing that it seems as if they were not made for any normal person. Some historians say that this scroll is a spiritual map that leads a person to eternal knowledge through inner transformation. But occult researchers believe it describes a forbidden process in which the human soul can be tested and converted into energy. To date, 21 Ripley scrolls have been found around the world, and all are slightly different, as if each scroll tells its own story. Some depict demons, some angels, and some have cryptic creatures that are beyond human logic. But the biggest question still remains: did George Ripley really create the Philosopher's Stone? Is this scroll proof of that? Or was it all a warning for those who try to steal God's secrets? Because it is said that the Ripley Scroll is not just a guide, but a test. And whoever understands the meaning of its symbols either merges into the divine light or gets lost in darkness. Number 3. The Codex Seraphinianus. Have you ever seen a book that, upon seeing it, makes you feel that perhaps it was not made for humans at all? The Codex Seraphinianus is one such book, an encyclopedia of a world where logic, nature, and human understanding all fail. It was written by the Italian artist Luigi Serafini in the late 1970s, and the entire book is written in an unknown language, in an alphabet that does not resemble the script of any world. Every page has illustrations that exist somewhere between dreams and madness. On one page, a human is turning into a fish. On another, a flower is being born from a human foot. Somewhere, a chair is growing like a tree, and elsewhere, an alphabet itself is running away from its own shape. It feels as if an alien civilization has written an encyclopedia of their world, and we can only understand its visuals, but its meaning is beyond our grasp. Luigi Serafini never revealed the secrets of his book. He just said that just as a child sees writing but cannot read it, he wanted readers to see this book, not understand it, but just feel it. And this is the real secret of the Codex Seraphinianus. This book is perhaps not of an alien world, but of the alien world hidden within human imagination. A world where symbols communicate not with meaning, but with emotion. Some researchers have called it the strangest book in human history, and some have described it as a visual LSD trip. But for those who read it, it became a portal, a door where reality ends and surrealism begins. Every page forces you to think, are we the aliens? And is this book just showing us the true face of our own imagination? Because if the Codex Seraphinianus is proof of one thing, it's that mystery doesn't just exist in outer space. Sometimes it is hidden inside our own minds. Number 4, the Book of Soiga. Somewhere in every civilization, there is a book that cannot just be read but must be felt. The Book of Soiga is one of them. This book was written in the 16th century, and it was first discovered through John Dee, who was Queen Elizabeth's personal astrologer, mathematician, and magician. John Dee was known not just as a scholar, but also as an occult researcher, and this was his biggest obsession, the Book of Soiga. It is said that when this book fell into John Dee's hands, he tried to understand the codes and encrypted tables written inside it. On every page of the book, there were words that were not written in any known language. A strange alphabet, a strange pattern, as if it were a code from another world. John Dee, along with his assistant Edward Kelly, tried to decode this book. Kelly was a medium. He claimed to communicate with angels and spirits. And when they asked the spirit what Soiga meant, the reply came, "This book was given to Adam in paradise, but only angels and the chosen can truly read it." It's heard that after that, John Dee got so lost in the hidden messages written inside this book that he lost his mind. He wrote that inside it is a demonic formula that is only found by the person whom the universe itself chooses. And the strangest thing is that this book was written in 2 copies. One was found in the Oxford Library and the other in the British Library. Some pages of both were the same, but some symbols were different, as if some invisible author kept rewriting them. To this day, no one has a complete translation of the Book of Soiga. Experts say that its encryption is written in a mathematical language that might be an ancient algorithmic script crediting artificial intelligence. And perhaps that is why when someone tries to understand this book, they no longer remain just a human. They become a part of the same dark energy from which this book was written. Number 5. The Popol Vuh. It is said that every civilization has an origin story, a tale that explains how the world was created and why humans were made. And for the Mayan civilization, this story was written in the Popol Vuh, a book known as the Sacred Book of the Maya. It was written by the Quiche Maya people of Guatemala, and it contains a version of creation that is stranger, more mythical, and more mysterious than any religious text. At the beginning of this book, it is written that when there was nothing in the world, only silent water and an invisible sky, 2 divine beings, Heart of Sky and Heart of Earth, came together to create the world. They raised the mountains, divided the lakes and seas, and then decided to create a species that would remember their name. But their first attempts failed. They first made humans of clay, who melted in the rain. Then they made humans of wood, who had no hearts, no emotions. So the gods drowned them, and some monkeys survived, who are still seen as symbols of human failure in Maya mythology today. Then came the generation made of corn, and only then were real humans created. This means for the Mayans, corn was not just food, it was the essence of their existence. The second part of this book is even more amazing, which tells the story of the hero twins, Hunahpu and Krelanque. They both go to the inner world, Xibalba, the underworld, where they have to fight the dark gods through games, trials, and illusions. This part is not just a story, but a symbolic journey of the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The Popol Vuh was once an oral tradition, passed down from person to person. But when the Spanish colonizers arrived, the people who wrote and hid this book had to put their lives in danger. A Maya priest, Francisco Ximenez, wrote its Latin translation in the 18th century, and that is why this text has survived to this day. But the biggest question is, was the Popol Vuh just mythology, or was it a cosmic record? Which tells us that everything in the world repeats in cycles, an eternal dance between creation and destruction. Some researchers say the astronomical and calendar details written in this book are so accurate that it might even be a prehistoric scientific document. The Popol Vuh gives us a strange feeling that humans are not just a part of the earth, but of the universe, and every birth, every death, is just the beginning of a new chapter. Number 6. The Book of Thoth. It is said that every civilization has a book that represents the pinnacle of their knowledge and magic. And for Egypt, that book was the Book of Thoth, a book believed to have been written by Thoth himself, the Egyptian god of wisdom, who was the protector of the moon time, writing, and magic. He always held the symbol of an ibis or a baboon and a stylus with which he wrote down divine knowledge. According to legends, the Book of Thoth contains the universal language of the gods, with spells that allow a person to break the cycle of birth and death and learn the secrets of heaven and the underworld. It is said about this book that the words written in it have so much power that whoever reads it can control time, nature, and people's minds, and for this reason, the Book of Thoth is also called the Forbidden Knowledge. In a famous story from Egyptian mythology, it is told that there was a prince named Setnikamwas, the son of Pharaoh Rameses. Setni was a scholar, and he desired both power and knowledge. One day, he learned that the book written by Thoth was hidden in a secret tomb, where a spirit was guarding it. Without a second thought, Setni took out the book, and as soon as he read the first spell, everything around him began to change. The walls started shaking, the winds grew stronger, and standing before him was the spirit of Thoth, who screamed, "This knowledge is not for everyone." The story says that Setni lost all his power and had to return the book to the same place from where he had stolen it. After that day, no one ever saw the book's true form again. But some people believe that the Book of Thoth was not completely destroyed. Some of its fragments are hidden in the coffin texts, pyramid texts, and the emerald tablets, containing certain symbols and spells that still baffle scholars and occult researchers today. Another mystery is that in the 20th century, a modern occult society created a tarot system called the Book of Thoth, designed by the magician Aleister Crowley. Crowley claimed that these tarot cards represent the same knowledge that was written in the original Book of Thoth. So is this book truly a divine artifact, or an ancient symbolic text that was a bridge between our reality and the spirit world? No one knows. What is certain is that the Book of Thoth is a book that will always remain a symbol of humanity's forbidden curiosity. The curiosity that says, "I want to know, even if I have to give my soul for it." Number 7. The Necronomicon. In every civilization in the world, there have been texts that were called sacred, called divine. But there is also a book that is considered so dangerous and forbidden that its name alone strikes fear into people's minds. This is the Necronomicon, a book about which it is said that if a person reads it completely, they either go mad or do not survive. According to legends, the Necronomicon is an occult grimoire, a book of black magic written by the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazard around the 8th century. It is said that this man went to the most desolate parts of the Arabian desert, where no human could survive for long, and there he met some deities, creatures that were neither human nor gods, some entities that existed beyond human understanding. After returning, he began to write and completed the Necronomicon, a book that explained the laws of the dead and the rituals of ancient cosmic gods. It is said that some spells written in the Necronomicon have the power to awaken sleeping gods like Cthulhu, Yog-Sothoth, and Nyarlathotep. These are creatures that live in worlds beyond the human dimension. If they were to be summoned, all of humanity could be destroyed in an instant. The book states that the universe is not an orderly place, but a system filled with chaos and darkness, and we are just a small particle of it. Whoever tries to understand this knowledge, their mind drowns in that same darkness. From the 4th century onwards, versions of the Necronomicon began to appear in various places, in the libraries of Rome, in occult collections in Germany, and even in universities in New England. One thing was common everywhere. Wherever this book went, strange incidents began to occur. A scholar once said, "When I opened the pages of the Necronomicon, the letters began to move, and the words started changing into a different language, which seemed alive." Some researchers say that this book is just a fictional myth, a creation of writer H.P. Lovecraft, who mentioned the Necronomicon in his horror universe. But on the other hand, people have also claimed to have seen real physical copies. Some say that one version is hidden in the Vatican secret archives, and another in the restricted section of the British Museum. The most surprising thing is that every time someone tried to read the words of the Necronomicon aloud, the surrounding temperature dropped, distortions appeared in the sound, and some people felt a presence in the air. Is all of this just imagination? Or is there truly something written in this book that is beyond our comprehension? Some occult scholars say the Necronomicon is a gateway, a door between our world and unspeakable dimensions, and when a person opens this door, it is difficult to return. To this day, no one has proven the origin of this book, nor has any complete version been presented to the world, but its mere name brings about a strange uneasiness among researchers, magicians, and historians. Because everyone knows that some knowledge is meant not to be learned, but to remain hidden, and the Necronomicon is perhaps the greatest secret among them. A book that is not read, but only felt.